You ever stop and think about why we're always chasing after things, relationships, validation, trying to fill a void we can't quite name? Well, I'm here to tell you that the most powerful relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, how could living alone beat being in a relationship? Let me tell you, when you truly understand the power of solitude, you'll realize it's not just about being alone, it's about becoming someone you can truly depend on. Living alone offers an unmatched sense of freedom and independence. It's a lifestyle that empowers you to make your own decisions, set your own schedule, and live your life without the constraints that often come with living with others. There is something incredibly liberating about having full control over how you spend your time, how you organize your space, and how you move through the world. When you live alone, the decisions you make are yours and yours alone. There's no need to consult anyone else or negotiate on the things that matter most to you. Whether it's what to eat for dinner, what time you want to wake up, or how you spend your weekends, you have the authority to decide without having to consider anyone else's preferences. That level of autonomy is rare in shared living situations where compromises are often necessary. In a relationship or a shared living environment, there's always a give and take. But when you're on your own, every decision is made solely based on your own desires and needs. Living alone also gives you the freedom to truly control your time. Without the demands of others dictating how you spend your day, you become the master of your own schedule. You can prioritize your goals, focus on what truly matters, and pursue your passions without interruptions. If you want to spend the entire day reading, working on a project, or taking a walk in the park, you have the luxury to do so without needing to coordinate with anyone else's calendar. This ability to carve out uninterrupted time for yourself allows you to dive deeper into personal growth and self-improvement because you can structure your days exactly as you see fit. More than just controlling the way you spend time, living alone also grants you the freedom to define what your life looks like. Your space, your environment, your routines are all shaped by you. You have the liberty to design your living area in a way that reflects your personality and needs. If you like a minimalist style, you can decorate accordingly. If you prefer a more eclectic, cozy atmosphere, it's yours to create. There are no compromises or negotiations about the look or feel of your space. Your home becomes a true sanctuary, a place where you can unwind, recharge, and feel completely at ease because it is entirely tailored to you. This independence extends beyond just the physical aspects of life. It also influences your emotional and mental state. When you live alone, you learn to rely on yourself. You become responsible for your own well-being, for managing your time and your emotions. There's no one else to blame for your circumstances or your mistakes, and no one else to depend on when times get tough. This self-reliance cultivates a deep sense of confidence and strength because you realize that you have the power to shape your own reality. It teaches you resilience because when you face challenges, you're the one who needs to figure out how to overcome them. This sense of independence is incredibly empowering as it fosters an inner strength that you carry with you into every area of your life. Ultimately, the freedom and independence that come with living alone allow you to live on your own terms. You can create a life that aligns with your values and desires without being influenced by the needs or expectations of others. This level of autonomy offers the space to fully explore who you are, what you want, and what truly makes you happy. In a world where we're often pulled in many directions by the demands of others, living alone provides a rare opportunity to focus solely on yourself and build a life that reflects your truest self. Living alone provides an invaluable opportunity for self-discovery, a time to truly get to know yourself without the distractions or influences of others. In the quiet of your own space, you are free to explore who you really are, away from the expectations and judgments of family, friends, or partners. It's in this solitude that you can start to understand what drives you, what you value, and what makes you feel alive. When you live alone, you have the space to listen to your own thoughts and reflect on your experiences. Without the constant presence of others, you begin to hear your own voice more clearly. It's easy to get lost in the opinions of those around us when we're always surrounded by others. Living alone creates the freedom to think for yourself, to question everything you've been told, and to find out what truly resonates with you. It's a chance to shed the external influences that often shape our decisions and actions, and to find out what you believe, what you're passionate about, and what drives you forward. This process of self-discovery allows you to reconnect with your inner desires and ambitions without anyone else's plans or priorities competing with your own. You have the time and freedom to explore your passions. Maybe you've always wanted to learn a new skill, start a business, or dive into a creative project, but you've never had the chance to pursue it fully. Living alone removes the barriers, whether they're external pressures or a lack of time, and gives you the opportunity to explore what truly excites you. You can focus entirely on your own growth and self-improvement, discovering hidden talents and abilities that might have been stifled in the noise of a busy life shared with others. It's also in this time of solitude that you can begin to heal and address parts of yourself that may have been neglected or misunderstood. Living alone allows you to confront your insecurities, your fears, and the parts of your past that might have been holding you back. Without the distractions of daily life shared with others, you can begin to unpack these emotions and experiences and take the time to heal. You can focus on developing your emotional resilience and gaining a deeper understanding of your own mental and emotional needs. This type of self-reflection allows you to learn what makes you happy, what upsets you, and how to create the emotional balance that will allow you to thrive. Living alone also grants you the freedom to make mistakes and learn from them without the judgment of others. You don't have to worry about disappointing anyone or feeling like you've let someone down. You can experiment, try new things, and take risks knowing that the only consequences you face are your own. This space to make mistakes and grow from them builds confidence and teaches you resilience. It reinforces the idea that you don't need anyone else to validate your path or your decisions. You start to realize that even when things don't go according to plan, you are capable of bouncing back and forging your own way. In the quiet of living alone, you can explore what truly brings you peace and joy. You discover what it feels like to be fully in tune with yourself, without the need for external validation. You learn what it means to be content on your own, to find satisfaction and fulfillment in your own company. This deep connection with yourself is something that's often lost in the rush of life, but living alone creates the perfect conditions for it to blossom. It's an opportunity to get to know yourself in the most profound way, to embrace your strengths and weaknesses, and to come out of it with a clearer understanding of who you really are. Living alone creates a unique environment where personal growth can thrive, because when you're by yourself, you have no choice but to confront your fears, challenges, and flaws. In the absence of distractions or the influence of others, you are forced to reckon with parts of yourself that may have been ignored or overlooked. This space of solitude becomes a powerful catalyst for real growth, pushing you to face the parts of your life that need attention and transformation. When you're alone, there is no one else to lean on or rely on, which means that the only person you can turn to for support is yourself. This forces you to develop a deep sense of self-reliance. Whether it's dealing with a tough situation, solving a problem, or simply making it through a difficult day, you learn to trust in your own abilities and strengths. You realize that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you, even if it feels overwhelming at times. Through these experiences, you build resilience and learn that you can weather any storm because you have yourself to depend on. Living alone also gives you the chance to confront your fears in a way that's impossible when you're constantly surrounded by others. Whether it's the fear of failure, loneliness, or uncertainty, these fears often remain hidden when we're too busy focusing on the needs of others or filling the silence with distractions. But when you're alone, there's nowhere to hide from them. You have no choice but to face them head on, and when you do, you realize that these fears often have less power over you than you think. By allowing yourself to sit with discomfort and uncertainty, you gradually build the courage to push past your limitations. This is where real growth happens, not in avoiding the things that scare you, but in embracing them, learning from them, and ultimately overcoming them. Living alone also allows you to take a hard look at your flaws, those areas of your life that you may have ignored or brushed aside in the past. Without the noise of others around you, it's easier to see where you're falling short or where there's room for improvement. This might mean acknowledging patterns of behavior that aren't serving you, whether it's procrastination, self-doubt, or unhealthy habits. Living alone presents an opportunity to face these flaws without external distractions or judgments. It gives you the space to actively work on them, to transform them, and to become a better version of yourself. This process can be difficult and uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. It's about being brutally honest with yourself and taking responsibility for the areas of your life that need change. Moreover, when you live alone, you learn to manage your emotions in a more deliberate way. There's no one else around to absorb your frustrations or anxieties, so you learn how to handle them on your own. You develop emotional intelligence, learning to understand and regulate your feelings rather than letting them control you. Over time, you begin to realize that you are more in control of your emotions than you once thought. This self-awareness becomes a powerful tool for personal growth because once you understand your emotions and the triggers behind them, you can make better choices and respond to situations in a more balanced and thoughtful way. In the end, living alone forces you to grow in ways that are impossible when you're constantly surrounded by others. It challenges you to face your fears, tackle your flaws, and take responsibility for your own happiness. This growth is not always easy. It often involves discomfort, self-doubt, and struggle. But it is through this process that you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of creating a life that aligns with your true values and aspirations. Living alone isn't just about solitude, it's about learning to thrive in that solitude and using it as a springboard for personal transformation. Living alone provides an invaluable opportunity to experience true peace and solitude, a space where you can think clearly, recharge, and fully enjoy your own company without the distractions or pressures that often come with being in a relationship. In the quiet of your own space, there's no noise from others demanding your attention or influencing your decisions. This kind of solitude allows you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, giving you the mental clarity needed to reflect, rejuvenate, and grow. In a busy world filled with constant distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. When you're in a relationship, there's a natural tendency to prioritize the needs and desires of another person, often at the expense of your own well-being. This isn't to say that relationships are inherently bad, but they come with a certain level of emotional and mental energy that can be draining at times. When you live alone, you have the freedom to focus on your own thoughts and feelings, uninterrupted. You can take a step back, clear your mind, and reflect on your life without being pulled in different directions. This mental space is vital for finding balance and understanding what you truly need in your life. Peace and solitude provide the perfect environment to recharge. Life's constant demands, work, social obligations, family, and yes, relationships can often leave us feeling drained emotionally and physically. When you live alone, you don't have to constantly give energy to others. There's no one else's emotional baggage to carry, no one else's drama to navigate. You can choose how you want to spend your time, whether that's relaxing with a good book, taking a walk in nature, or simply enjoying the quiet. It's in this space of solitude that you are able to replenish your energy reserves and return to life with a sense of calm and strength. This recharging process allows you to become more present in the world and in your interactions with others, because you've given yourself the time and space to refresh. Living alone also helps you rediscover the joy of your own company. In relationships, it's easy to get caught up in seeking external validation, in needing the presence of others to feel fulfilled. However, when you live alone, you learn that your own presence is enough. You learn to appreciate the simple pleasure of being with yourself. Whether you're cooking a meal, enjoying a cup of coffee, or watching a movie, you begin to recognize how fulfilling it is to enjoy your own company without the need for external stimulation or approval. This self-sufficiency breeds confidence and self-love because you're no longer relying on someone else to provide you with happiness or fulfillment. You come to understand that happiness isn't something you find outside of yourself, it's something you create within. In the solitude of living alone, you also find the space to process your emotions and thoughts without interruption. In a relationship, it's easy to let your emotions get tangled with someone else's. But when you're on your own, you can more clearly identify what you're feeling and why. This gives you the opportunity to work through your emotions in a healthy, constructive way. You can reflect on your personal challenges, think about your goals, and explore your dreams, all without the pressure of someone else's agenda. This clarity and self-awareness help you make better decisions and take more intentional actions in every area of your life. Ultimately, peace and solitude aren't just about being alone, they're about learning to embrace the quiet moments, finding strength in stillness, and gaining clarity through introspection. Living alone offers you the rare gift of uninterrupted time with yourself, where you can nurture your mind, body, and soul. It allows you to recharge in a way that's impossible when you're constantly focused on someone else's needs. This space gives you the freedom to grow, to think deeply, and to truly enjoy who you are, without the distractions of a relationship or the demands of others. It's in this peaceful solitude that you discover the most profound aspects of who you are, and in doing so, you become more capable of creating a life filled with purpose, clarity, and true contentment. In relationships, compromise is often seen as a necessary part of building a connection, but living alone offers a refreshing contrast to that constant adjustment. When you're in a relationship, there are always moments where your dreams, routines, or preferences must bend to accommodate the other person. Whether it's agreeing on where to go for dinner, making decisions about how to spend your time, or adjusting your plans to suit the other person's needs, compromise becomes a regular part of daily life. While compromise can certainly be a sign of love and understanding, it can also feel like a series of sacrifices, especially when it comes at the expense of your own desires. In contrast, living alone gives you the freedom to live life entirely on your terms without having to constantly adjust yourself to someone else's expectations. When you live alone, you have the rare opportunity to pursue your dreams without interference. There's no one else to consider when making decisions about your future. You can chase the career you want, move to the place you've always dreamed of, or spend your free time doing exactly what excites you. Your goals, your ambitions, your passions, everything can be shaped solely by what you want, not by what you need to adjust to for the sake of another person. In a relationship, there's often a balancing act between your goals and those of your partner. There may be discussions about who gets to pursue their career first or where you'll both live. But when you're living alone, you are free to forge your path without needing anyone's approval or support. It's an empowering feeling to know that your dreams are yours to nurture, and you don't have to compromise them to make space for someone else's. This freedom extends beyond just your ambitions. Living alone means you can structure your life in a way that suits your personality and preferences. Whether you're a night owl or an early riser, whether you prefer a tidy space or a more relaxed environment, your home and your routine are entirely yours. You don't have to compromise on how you organize your living space or how you spend your time. You can choose the decor, the ambience, the way your days unfold, all based on what makes you feel comfortable and happy. In a relationship, routines can sometimes feel like they need to be shared or adapted, but when you're living alone, you set the tone for everything in your life. Living alone also means you can maintain a level of peace that comes from not having to adjust your behavior for anyone else. There's no need to suppress parts of your personality or alter your approach to life to keep the harmony in a relationship. If you need space, you can take it without guilt. If you want to spend an entire day in solitude, that's entirely up to you. There are no negotiations or sacrifices required to accommodate someone else's emotional needs. In contrast, relationships often require a balance of give and take, where personal needs are sometimes put on the back burner to meet the other person's desires or expectations. When you live alone, your emotional and physical needs come first. This freedom from compromise doesn't mean that living alone is lonely or selfish. Rather, it's about nurturing yourself in a way that allows you to be the best version of yourself. By not compromising on your routines, preferences, and dreams, you're able to live authentically and confidently. You become more attuned to your own needs and desires, and as a result, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want out of life. Living alone is a powerful journey that teaches you the importance of self-reliance, resilience, and inner strength. When you're on your own, you're confronted with the reality that In many situations, the only person you can count on is yourself. This can initially feel overwhelming, but over time, it becomes one of the greatest sources of empowerment. The challenges you face in solitude force you to develop a deeper understanding of your capabilities, pushing you to tap into resources you might not have known you had. This kind of independence is transformative as it equips you with the confidence to handle whatever life throws your way. When you live alone, you are responsible for your own well-being, both emotionally and practically. There's no one else to lean on when things get tough, no partner or family member to pick up the pieces when you fall. While this can feel daunting at first, it teaches you to take ownership of your life. You learn to solve your own problems, make tough decisions on your own, and take charge of your circumstances. Whether it's dealing with a personal crisis, handling a difficult situation at work, or simply getting through a tough day, you realize that you are capable of handling far more than you initially thought. This kind of empowerment comes from the realization that you don't need anyone to complete you or save you, you can do it yourself. Living alone also strengthens your resilience. In solitude, there's no one to shelter you from the ups and downs of life. You are forced to deal with your challenges head on. But this doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger. Every obstacle you face, every setback you experience teaches you how to bounce back and adapt. You become accustomed to finding your own solutions, learning from your mistakes, and pushing forward with more wisdom and determination. Over time, you build a mental toughness that gives you the ability to face life's difficulties with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you have the strength to overcome them. Perhaps one of the most empowering aspects of living alone is the realization that you don't need anyone else to validate your worth or happiness. In relationships, there's often an unspoken pressure to seek approval or to adjust yourself to meet someone else's expectations. But when you live alone, you are free to define yourself on your own terms. You learn to appreciate and trust your own judgment. This self-assurance is not about arrogance, but about knowing that you are enough as you are. You no longer feel the need to seek external validation because you've learned to rely on your own strength and wisdom. This sense of self-reliance also empowers you to take more risks and pursue your goals with confidence. Without the constant presence of someone else's expectations, you have the freedom to go after what you want, whether it's a new career path, a personal project, or a dream you've always had. You're no longer held back by fear of disappointing someone or adjusting your ambitions to fit into a relationship. When you live alone, you can fully embrace your passions and you realize that you have the courage to take action no matter what the outcome. Ultimately, living alone teaches you how to navigate life with a sense of control and empowerment. It gives you the tools to manage your emotions, solve problems, and make decisions with confidence. You become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of facing whatever challenges come your way. The independence that comes with living alone doesn't isolate you, it empowers you, filling you with the knowledge that you are fully capable of creating the life you want, and that you have everything within you to face the future with strength and confidence. In conclusion, living alone offers an experience that cannot be found in the dynamics of a relationship. It's a journey that teaches you invaluable lessons in self-reliance, personal growth, and emotional strength. When you're on your own, you have the rare opportunity to truly focus on yourself, to nurture your own dreams and desires, and to discover what makes you truly happy, without the constant need to adjust for the expectations of others. This solitude creates a space where you can reflect, grow, and evolve, all while learning to trust your own abilities and judgment. Freedom and independence are perhaps the most profound gifts that living alone provides. When you live alone, every decision is yours to make, and every moment of your day is shaped by your preferences. There's no need for compromise, no constant negotiation with a partner over how to spend your time or what choices to make. You have the autonomy to live your life exactly as you see fit, which is an empowering feeling. The ability to chart your own path, to follow your own goals, and to structure your life according to your own needs gives you a sense of ownership and control that is hard to achieve when sharing your life with someone else. But perhaps the greatest benefit of living alone is the opportunity for personal discovery. When you're by yourself, You have the space to truly get to know who you are, to reflect on your passions, your values, and your purpose. You learn to appreciate your own company, to enjoy solitude without feeling lonely. This self-awareness builds confidence and helps you to face the challenges and uncertainties of life with a stronger sense of self. The more you get to know yourself, the better equipped you are to navigate the world, make decisions, and create the life you want. Moreover, living alone teaches you resilience and empowerment. It forces you to confront your fears, deal with your flaws, and become stronger as a result. In times of difficulty, you don't have the safety net of a partner to rely on, but you learn that you are capable of handling life's challenges on your own. This builds a sense of inner strength and mental toughness that allows you to take on whatever comes your way with confidence. You become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more in tune with your own emotions and needs. The peace and solitude that come with living alone are invaluable as well. In the quiet of your own space, you can recharge, reflect, and reconnect with yourself in a way that is impossible when you're constantly sharing your time and energy with others. This time alone is not only necessary for personal growth, but it also allows you to cultivate a deep sense of contentment and inner peace. Ultimately, living alone is not about isolation, it's about empowerment. It's about learning to thrive in your own company, to build your life around what makes you happy, and to develop the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. It teaches you that you don't need anyone else to define your worth or shape your future. You have everything you need within you, and in this space of solitude, you find not only peace and self-discovery, but a profound sense of empowerment that will carry you forward with confidence and purpose. So my message to you is simple: learn to enjoy your own company. Learn to love who you are when no one else is around. When you do, you'll realize that living alone is not just a choice, it's a privilege. A privilege to build the best version of yourself. A privilege to live your truth. And trust me, when you're at peace with who you are, everything else in life falls into place.